Hello, I'm Interweb Studios. Today we ask Reddit what are things that are socially not acceptable that should be considered acceptable. With that, sit back and enjoy. Dying. Tell folks you're dying and they'll find ways to pretend that you're not. It's weird. Man, I still remember when I was like 22. My cousin asked if he could come see me, and I said sure, come on over at like 2. I was so excited for him to come over. I bought snacks and beer, and set up both my Xboxes and TVs in the living room so we could hang out and game. He showed up and he explained he's having a hard time because his biological dad OD'd and it was up to him as next of kin to decide whether to pull the plug. My cousin didn't even know the man. He was absent from his life since before day 1. I didn't know what to do, so I offered him some Doritos and a controller. I still panicked thinking about the fact that he came to me for help and I just shut down. You could never answer such a difficult question for him. What is important is that you listen. You were there when he needed you and I'm sure he appreciates that more than anything. In my country, especially on the island I am from, it is considered an offense by most people when you refuse the drink they offer you. It doesn't matter if you have to drive, and it's obviously illegal to drink and drive or already feel drunk and don't want to drink anymore. This shouldn't be a thing. People should respect others when they wish to stay sober. Me and my husband have found a way around it though. We always carry a pack of medicine and whenever someone tries to pressure us into drinking we show it and say, sorry, I am on medication for my tooth and it shouldn't be mixed with alcohol. That seems to do the trick. It's a good excuse if any of you people need to avoid drinking. That's why I am sharing it. Sorry if it's off topic. 1000% Cretan Greek. The drunkest I've ever been was on Crete. We weren't even partying. I don't know what happened. The last time I was in Crete the local shopkeeper insisted we try some local Reiki. Ma'am, it's 8 a.m. and I just want a loaf of bread. I bought a knife from a small shop outside Heraklion. Enter shop. Shot. Ask about knives. Shot. Select knife. Shot. Pay for knife. Shot. Sharpens knife. Shot. Wish me well, 2 shots. Enter sober. 20 minutes later I'm drunk with a knife. Telling someone you don't want to go or do something without making up an excuse. We all sometimes just don't feel like it. That is okay. I wish more of my friends were mature enough to do this. I've even told them I won't take it personally if they say no. Sometimes you just don't feel like hanging. It's FOMO. And it's real. When people say no enough times they eventually stop getting asked. So your brain tells you to make up an excuse so they keep inviting you. Even though saying no is definitely the stronger choice. 'Cause frankly, if someone consistently turns you down it's probably okay to move on from them. And if you consistently turn them down it's probably okay for you to let them move on. Personally I stopped making up excuses when I hit my 30s. A lot of times if I say, I just got tired when I sat down on my couch, the other people involved are like, OMG me too, can we reschedule? I find a lot of people are less enthusiastic the day the plans come than they are while making or agreeing to the plans. Calling customers out on poor behavior. I think unruly customers should be banned from establishments. I had this company keep calling me. They were trying to sell me a service I didn't want and couldn't even afford. However, they kept calling. I asked them to remove me from their list. I was very nice about it. They still kept calling me 2 or 3 times a day. One day they called and I just ducking lost it on them. I said a lot of mean things and I am pretty sure I made the lady cry. She said that she was going to ban me from their company and I would be blacklisted, and never able to use their services. I told her, that's all I want. And she hung up on me. It's been 3 weeks since anyone has tried to call and sell me an extended warranty for my car. Being honest about your intentions while dating. Saw this clip of this comic the other day that said he has a newfound respect for autistic people. There were these 2 autistic people on a first-time date and when they asked what the 3 things they liked were. He named Batman as one, trains and chocolate milk, and he asked the lady if she liked any of them and she said no, and they left and ended the date right there. No fussing or fighting. I prefer the video where the 2 autistic people meet at the park and the guy's just like, it seems we both have autism, haven't we? This one blows my mind. People I would otherwise respect will lie, pressure or coerce the opposite sex in order to get laid and then laugh it off like it was the other party's fault for making it out to be such a big deal. When I've brought this up with friends as not cool, it just makes people uncomfortable and I am told to lighten up. Being quiet and reserved in a social situation. I know what you mean, I'm a typically quiet person. I'll speak when spoken to, but I mostly keep to myself, but I hate the stigma behind being quiet. Like people get so mad that they can't read you, but maybe I'm just chillin' and don't wanna talk. I told a county worker recently that I didn't have anything to say, when she asked me why I'd been quiet all day. It's a double-edged sword for me because if you act even remotely interested in a topic I like, I'll talk your ducking ear off if you let me. But then I walk away from the interaction feeling like a dweeb for pontificating on like some niche interest of mine. Rest. Saying I'm not going to do that because I need to rest, at least in the US, rest is seen as laziness and honestly it's sacred. I have been working for a company that wants me to work 7 days a week. I have had about 4 days off in the last 6 months. I feel like I'm going to die any day now, and now we're on 12-hour shifts. God bless America. Standing up to, cutting off an abusive family member. Don't give me that, but their blood, crap. If you're a crappy person, I want to be as far as possible from you. Saying how you actually feel. I have to literally ask people multiple times to actually know how are they feeling. But I do understand that sometimes it feels like you are just bothering others by talking about how shit you are feeling or having a crappy day. Treating work like just work. I like my work and get along great with my colleagues at work. But I just don't want to go out for drinks afterwards, have team events, Christmas parties and whatever. Work. Get paid. Have life outside of work with other people. To be clear, I don't want to cancel social events at work. I just want them becoming very explicitly optional, with no weird looks for not attending. This one. The idea of social life revolving around work tends to make people dislike workplace. Going to movies, concerts, sporting events, restaurants, etc. alone. You should be able to go out and enjoy things without needing friends, someone else to be there with you. As someone who does this all the time, it's not actually a taboo, it is totally fine. No one will bother you and you will have fun, so just do it. Especially movies? Why do you need someone to join you to sit in silence and watch a film? That taboo never made sense to me. Men talking to kids. Men playing with kids, especially if they're already playing with their kid. Dads doing things with their children doesn't always have to be about giving mom a break. Obviously I know why it's frowned upon and I get why people get so creeped out by it all, but it still sucks. Once when I was in my late teens I was pushing my baby sister on a swing and some other kid wanted me to push him, so I picked him up and put him in the swing and started pushing. The woman with him I guess finally noticed and got super pissed. The other time I was in the mall and some little Hispanic boy was scared crying and no one stopped to see what's up. I watched for a bit to see if anyone was gonna go to him, no one did. So I, 6'1" big white guy, go talk to him to find out he's lost. I took him to sit on the bench nearby and called security. Man, in the 2-3 minutes it took for security to arrive I got so many weird and dirty looks. Yeah. This is a weird one for me, but again, obviously understandable. I've worked at an elementary school for 6 years, and it's complete habit that if I run into a child in the hall, even if they're not my student, I'll still help them if they're lost, try to cheer them up if they're sad, or just compliment them on their cool backpack or something. It's still a weird switch to turn off when I leave work since it's so unacceptable to do those things outside of the school. Discussing salaries, finances. Such a ridiculous taboo. If people knew how little or how much their peers make, employers would have a much tougher time lowballing salaries or offering poverty-level wages. It theoretically eliminate the whole keeping up with the Joneses mentality as well. If you're not trying to one-up everyone, it would be less likely to live beyond your means. I work in a job where my salary is public information, so I am never hesitant to discuss my income with anyone. It also seems less taboo with younger people, at least in my experiences. I've heard several boomers recently who have literally said that salaries shouldn't be discussed with coworkers. Ducking boomers being boomers as normal. Being honest about your day. If someone asks how's it going and I don't lie and say, like crap, they will look at me like I have two heads. There's a Finnish comedian named Ismo who has some bits about learning English, and one of my favorite lines is, "It took me a year to figure out that the correct answer to, 'What's up?' is, 'What's up?' Spot on. Talking back to older people in your family when they are being unreasonable. Not getting married, having kids. It's not for everyone, and many people F up their lives because they felt the obligation to follow a life script. Yup. As much as I love my nephews, I don't look forward to 20+ years of having a dependent that I have to keep an eye on. Add to that the fact that one of my sister's kids is so autistic he will need full-time care for the rest of his life, and parenthood sounds like a nightmare. I told my last partner that I had no interest in having children, later learned that she told my mother she intended to convince me otherwise. Glad that one's over. Pedophiles should be able to seek therapy. I was abused as a child and I would have rather not been abused. We should try to prevent child abuse, not pretend it can never happen and then freak out when it does. Do you know how damaging it is to see people freak out about abuse that happened to you? It doesn't make you feel good as a kid, it just makes an already chaotic situation even more chaotic for the kid. Being told how you want to kill the abuser doesn't feel good for the kid, it's just scary and confusing, especially when the abuser is someone close, which it almost always is. I don't like it when people start fantasizing in graphic detail about what they'd like to do to pedophiles. I'm not helped by that as a survivor. I would have been helped by services for pedophiles that help them not become child molesters. I don't care about the emotional response. I care about actual change. The morality of it is secondary to the intervention. Service workers standing up for themselves when customers are rude. The whole idea that we should just take abusive treatment from people with a smile is why this industry is struggling. We are already overworked and underpaid. We shouldn't be forced to accept being treated as less than human. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment anything I might have missed. Until next time, toodles.